Hello, and welcome to this Mind Your Wellness session brought to you by the ENGWellness Team. Today we'll be covering the topic of co-op. Co-op is a big part of many people's Waterloo experience, and it can be a significant cause of stress. From applications to interviews to rankings and actually working a co-op job, the whole process is quite a lot to handle. Today we'll be looking at some ways of approaching the co-op process which can hopefully help you for your next job search and co-op term. Preparing for co-op applications is the first step in the co-op process. Spend some time working on your resume before the term when you're applying for jobs. If you're applying to jobs in the fall, spend some time at the end of spring term updating your resume and making sure you're happy with it. This will give you more time to devote to job applications and writing cover letters when the application period begins. Job applications are busy, stressful, and often a lot to balance with your coursework, so everything you can do to prepare for them beforehand will help you to relieve stress when applications start. The Center for Career Action offers one-on-one supports which can help you navigate the job search. You can book one-on-one appointments with a career advisor to discuss your career strategy, job search tactics, or grad and professional school prep. They offer resume and cover letter appointments, as well as mock interviews which can help you prepare for the job search. They also often offer same-day virtual drop-in sessions if you need same-day advice. These sessions are held through Waterloo Works, and more information on these sessions can be found on the CCA website. You can also check out the ENGSOC Resume and Cover Letter Bank to take a look at examples other co-op students have used to get jobs. When it comes to applying for jobs, it can be very helpful to work on them bit by bit, staying up to date with new job postings as they come, rather than leaving them all to the last night. Setting aside just a small amount of time most days to browse Waterloo Works and send off some applications is a much more efficient and much more relaxed way of applying to jobs than doing all or most of your applications at the last minute. When you're applying to jobs, a tip to try out is to give yourself small rewards once you pass certain milestones. Like taking a short break or having a little snack can be good ways to mark completing 5 or 10 job applications. These little rewards can help keep you motivated during the stress of job applications. Interviews can be stressful. Talking to people you don't know and trying to sell yourself as a great candidate for a job can be intimidating, but there are ways to handle interview anxiety. Here to talk more about some strategies for handling interview anxiety is Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa, one of your embedded co-op counselors. Today I'm going to talk to you about interview anxiety and how to manage your anxiety when it comes to co-op interviews. Sometimes our anxiety can feel like it's too much or it's taken over. When this happens, I talk to students about using grounding techniques. One grounding technique that can be helpful are deep belly breaths. With deep belly breaths, we want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. With each exhale, we want to try and lengthen the exhale. When we lengthen the exhale, we can actually reset the nervous system and help to feel more grounded. Another grounding technique that I recommend is getting connected with the here and now. That means we're trying to connect with our present moment, and we can do this through using our senses. So even notice where you are right now in this room. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you smell? What do you feel? When we connect with the present moment, we can feel more grounded, which can help us when our anxiety feels like it's taking over. Lastly, notice what your thoughts are telling you. Our thoughts can actually make our anxiety worse. For example, our thoughts might say, I'm going to do horrible on this interview, or no one's ever going to want to hire me. It's important to remind yourself that thoughts are simply just thoughts. They're not facts. Focus on your strengths. Remind yourself that this interview does not define you, and you're doing the very best that you can. And no matter what happens in the interview, you can always learn something and take that with you to your next interview. Thanks so much for being here with me today. If you're looking for more support when it comes to anxiety, I would encourage you to call into our office at Counseling Services to book an appointment. Best of luck on your interviews, warriors. Take care.
A lot of emphasis gets put on what you should wear to a job interview. Whatever your outfit choice, one of the most important things to wear to a job interview is confidence. Get used to wearing your interview clothes so that you can feel comfortable in them. Being comfortable wearing more formal attire can help your confidence and help to reduce stress during an interview. I've found that even for phone interviews, I like to dress up like I would for an in-person interview. It just helps me to get into the interview mindset and feel more professional and more confident. It's important to be used to wearing your interview clothes so you can be as comfortable and as confident as possible during the stressful situation. Another thing which can help with confidence is positive self-talk. It might sound cheesy, but it is backed up by evidence. Self-talk is the way you think to yourself throughout the day. The idea of positive self-talk is to build yourself up by thinking positively about yourself and encouraging yourself internally. Sometimes voicing positive self-talk aloud can help as well. Saying something like, "You've got this, you're ready for this interview, and you can do this," can actually boost your confidence. It may not be for everyone, but it might be worth a try. Interviews can be a busy time and are sometimes tough to manage alongside all your coursework. If possible, however, I would really recommend taking some time before and after your interview to prepare mentally and then to decompress. Getting in the right headspace before an interview can help to relieve stress. Personally, if I have an interview in the morning or the early afternoon, I'll try to take the morning off of schoolwork just to be relaxed and to prepare for the interview. Similarly, I always like to take a walk to clear my mind and de-stress immediately after an interview. Preparing mentally and taking time to de-stress help me to make the interview experience a little less stressful overall. The stress from an interview can often bleed over into the rest of your life, causing things to become even more chaotic. I find that taking a bit of time off before and after an interview can help me to contain my worries and stress about the interview so that they don't affect the rest of my life as much. After the stressful time of interviews comes the rankings period. Rankings can be stressful, exciting, disappointing, a real mix of emotions. If you've been ranked or given an offer for jobs, then you have decisions to make about how you'll rank them. Rankings are a balance of trying to end up with the job you're most interested in and making sure you end up with a job. Ranking strategies can get complicated, and it completely depends on your situation, but here's some general advice. Make sure to think through the pros and cons of your ranking decisions. Maybe the job you want the most ranked you, while a different job gave you the offer. Think through how much you value the job you want most, and whether you're willing to risk ending up with no job by going for the one you want the most. Consider your pros and cons, and talk through your decision with someone you trust. Oftentimes, a second opinion can help you think through your decision more thoroughly to come up with the best choice. If you didn't get ranked or offered a job, remember that you have not failed. The job search is not over after the first round, and many people get jobs well into continuous round and well into the work term as well. It can be very disheartening to not get ranked for a job you really wanted, but it's not the end of the job search process. Coping with disappointment and rejection is difficult, and it's important to try to not get too down on yourself if co-op applications are not going well. Your value is not determined by whatever co-op job you get. And while it's normal and healthy to be sad and disappointed by not getting a job, you should remember that your opportunities are still wide open. Rejection will always be part of the job hunting process, and it's good to learn to face rejection and move past it. When coping with disappointment, it's important to take time for self-care and time to connect with others to be social. The co-op search is a long and often difficult process, and it's important to take care of your mental and physical health along the way. One of the most valuable resources available to you throughout your co-op experience is your co-op advisor. You can find your advisor's name and contact information on your Waterloo Works dashboard, listed under Service Team next to WTS or Work Term Support. To be in touch, you can use the Send a Message button at the top of your dashboard, or call the extension listed beside the advisor's name and leave a message with your student number. You can ask your advisor about finding a job, any questions you have about applications or interviews, career planning, or further education planning. They're here to support you throughout the co-op process. If you find you need academic help, mental health support, or crisis support, here are some resources that can help.